What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in, spending a little time in the boat with me. Beautiful Saturday morning here in North Alabama. Partly cloudy or partly sunny, however you want to look at it. Hang around, I got a couple hours to kill. I'm gonna spend a little time on the water and see if I can figure out how to get a bass in the boat. Hang out, let's see if we can get one. There's a bite, boys. I've had so many bites this morning and they are not holding on. That one did. There we go. Oh no. Man, that's my 5th bite and the only fish I've hooked so far, and he came off. Man, that hurts. Well, it's 48-degree water. I left the sunny side of the bank over there where I started getting bites. I moved over and tried to get out of the wind just a little bit. I'm throwing where the wind's coming around a point, but I'm able to sit off out of it just a little bit. And immediately when I set up on this, I'm on the outside of a little pocket, throwing into the wind as the wind comes around the point. And thought I had a bite the very first cast, wasn't sure, put it back in there, and sure enough, just like the other side, they were bumping it, but by the time I was ready to set the hook, it was gone. So I'm not sure if I wasn't feeling the fish actually blow the bait back out. The bite it seems like it's really soft. So what I'm going to try to do, if I can get another bite here, or my next spot, is let them hang on to it for a minute, which is something I normally don't do. I'm usually reel down, set the hook, but if they're only grabbing the tail of this thing and swimming around with it, then that could be why I'm missing a lot of fish. Now the wind's got me up in the bank. Now if you guys have watched me fish very much, you know a lot of times I'm fishing with an anchor. That way I can set up on a point or a pocket, drop it and sit still. Well, on the other side of the bank where I was getting me a few bites this morning, my anchor went down in the mud like it does over here. There's a lot of silt and mud on this lake, and when I went to change directions or change spots, my anchor stayed in the mud. So that was either a bad rope or a bad knot on my part. So now I am truly at the mercy of the wind today. But it's kind of encouraging. I've had bites on both sides, and this sitting out of the wind, throwing back up where the wind comes across the water is, you know, that's a good thing. Sometimes that works even in the summer when you can set up and throw out into the wind. It breaks up the sunlight a little bit. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something I need to pay attention to and set up on the next little place I come to that looks like this, or maybe it was just a fluke. Because over on the other side in the sun, I was kind of in the same position. The wind was where the wind was beginning to come around the bank and hit the water. So little things like that, pay attention to every little detail. When you get your first bite of the day, pay attention, because that may lead you to your next spot, your next bite, and be the difference, especially in the wintertime when it's tough to getting some fish in the boat or not. Now the wind's changed again. It's coming, man, it's swirling today. I'm gonna try to sit on this bank here for just a few minutes and see if I can't get another bite. I still think that cast may have been a little too deep. I don't think these fish have been really deep today. That's a bite right there. I'm in 7 feet of water. Oh, and I missed him. Golly, what is going on? They are a little shallower than I would have expected, because I know this bank runs about the same depth all the way out to that point. I'm sitting in right at 7 feet of water. I started a lot deeper than that, you know, just a wintertime thing, but these bites are coming shallower than really a lot shallower than I thought. I just need one in the boat. All right, guys, here is the first bass I've managed to put in the boat. I don't know if this is the size that's been plaguing me all morning. He is a cold little fella. The bait is almost as long as the fish, but it hit just the same as the previous spots that I came to. Just a little tick and nothing else, until you realize, hey, the line's moving off. It's a really soft, subtle bite, and I have a feeling some of the bites that I did get earlier were fish blowing the bait back out. I really believe that. They're not hitting it really hard. I know the fish that I had on that jumped off earlier was a little bit bigger than that one, but I have to wonder if these smaller fish are grouped in a certain depth, or am I going to pick up a bigger one along with this size fish? It's hard to tell. It's part of a puzzle that we as fishermen are always trying to figure out. But same depth range as before, between 7 and 10 feet. Fishing the cream 5-inch stick bait really slow. I fished 2 different colors today, the June bug and then a really dark blue. I'm not sure the exact color, but I think they've both got bites. I don't necessarily think, as long as it's kind of a darker color, I think it's fine. But just like before, a little tick was all that let me know, hey, I don't know if that's a stick, that's a bite. When I checked it, my line's barely drifting. So set the hook and I had a baby. But hey, that's what you get out in the wind in the winter. And a week ago the bites were hard, just wham. 48 degree water may have sent them into a little bit of shock. So it was in the mid 50s last week. Here we are in the 40s now. So it's changing. All these cold fronts coming through one after another now is dropping the water temp some. It probably won't go that much lower, but you don't want to get in it anyway. It's definitely not bath water anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna slide on down this bank just a little bit more, see if I can grab another little bite, and I'll get back with you. All right, guys, out in front of me is an area similar to some other areas that I've got bites today. I wanted to point out, I know my camera makes it look like it's 100 miles away, but it's pretty close. It's this area that's got a little bit of green grass left that's not dead yet, running out into anywhere from 7 to 10, 12 feet of water, and I've had some bites there, so I thought I know my battery's getting low on that back camera, but I wanted to kind of explain. These are some of the areas that I've been targeting. Oh, and I would get hung. I've been targeting today, and I had to hang up on it. If there was a fish, I probably missed that opportunity. But these areas, a lot of them have green grass that has not died out. And they come out in the water and the grass keeps on going down a ways. And these have held some bites today. I haven't landed all the fish out of them, but I have got bites at them. So I know these areas have been somewhat prime. And I think that is actually, there we go, in some wood. But these areas have been, and I got to noticing it earlier that they have definitely produced bites, and there'd be a lull in the bites, and I'd get to the next one, and boom, off the edge of that grass, not up in it, but off of it is where I was picking up bites. So anytime you're out on the water in the winter and you come up on these grass patches that, you know, bass are not known for being in the dead grass. Dead grass is not very productive for holding. Well, most of the time, you know, sometimes they'll get back up in there, but dead grass is dying and decaying. It consumes the oxygen. If you still got green grass in there, sometimes it's still got enough green in there that's producing oxygen, and they'll come back and get either around it or up in it. Got another little patch right up here I want to throw out from. Maybe I won't get hung. But these are areas that you look for, and all the way down the rest of that bank that I'm looking and seeing, all the way till it makes a little point, there's no more of these little patches. So I will probably bypass most the rest of this bank. But these little patches right here, they may just be just enough to hold a fish. And so, kind of like a big laydown. In one of my videos, I talked about fishing the laydowns. They're like a magnet to me. These little grass patches are the same way. They're different. They're different than the rest of the structure or the rest of this bank going down. They actually stop. This is the last couple. There's one more little patch right up here. There's just not many more all the way down that bank. So I wanted to get a cast or two in. The biggest one, of course, I hung up in the trees down there underneath. But just a little tip I wanted to pass on. Don't always have a fish, but it's always good to stop and check, because you may have 12 or 15 of those little grassy points that run out all the way down a bank, and you know, if half of them produced you a fish, you'd be in good shape. So just a little tip to pass on. All right, boys, we got a hold of something in this cold water. I ain't sure what it is. Don't know if it's a bass or a cat. It stays down, whatever it is. Oh, it's a big old bass. Oh, hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Got him. Whew, patience pays off. Man, I actually thought I had a catfish. The thing hit just barely, just ticked, just like those little fish that I've had today. Yeah, I can get his mouth open. Oh, cut it out. Cut it out. Why they won't go showing out. I'm gonna put them back. right in the roof of the mouth. Where is? Oh, easy, baby. There, just barely hooked too. Look at that hoss. Woo! In the winter, you gotta wait on the good ones. And that was, I've missed, I think, 8 fish today. Patience pays off. Look at that. That's a hoss right there, boys. That's a big one. I really, really thought it was gonna be a catfish. It felt like it rolled. It stayed down. It wasn't coming up. All worthwhile. Let me get this bad boy back. Bye, girl. That one had eggs. See that belly starting to stick out. Let me show you again what I'm doing today. And they started biting this thing. This is just a regular cream stick bait. Any of the stick baits will work. I just happen to prefer the cream brand. Been on their field staff, whatever you want to call it, for several years, and I have a lot of trust in the baits. The Zoom Yum Dinger will work, or the Yum Dinger will work. All of the brands have got a stick bait like this, but I prefer cream. They're a little cheaper. They're just as good, and you can see they catch fish, so hey, it all works for me. But they've all been in one thing. This fish was around no wood whatsoever. My other bite's been in close to wood. This one's like in a pocket, flat. Water temp still in this section 48 degrees. The other part of the lake I was in earlier, 48 degrees. One section back behind me, I found 49.5. I got a bite there. I lost that fish. Now that fish was in the timber. He was down deep, probably 15 feet deep in the timber, and man, he knocked the fire out of it, and I didn't get that one in. He wrapped around. I felt it. He wrapped around and was gone. That fish fooled me. I didn't know what I had. Usually when you hook a bass, you usually know what you got. That felt like a catfish. It felt like it rolled. I don't know if it hit something, deflected off, but it didn't want to come up and jump. But I knew it felt heavy. But hey, I'll take it any day. So I'm gonna ease back around and make a couple more casts on this bank, see if that was a fluke, or maybe I can pick up another one before I move on down the bank a little more. I wish I'd had my camera running for that hook set, because you might have seen the expression on my face was probably like, whoa, a bite. But and a bigger bite. But hey, let me get back over here to set up, and I'll see if I can grab another one. Let's get another bite. Like I said before, I've had at least 8 bites and caught one little baby before that one. The bites have been there. I just hadn't got them in the boat, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing wrong at this point. So if I could figure that out, man, I might end up with a big boatload today. Anyway, let me get set up, get back on this bank in the right position, and I'll get back with you after a while. Alright, big buddy. Gotcha. Alright. Number 2 that's over that long for the day. I gotta get my little motor going. Get me out of this spillway so I can show you what I got. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna get a hook's what I'm. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, he's got my bait in the net. But I'll show you anyway. spinnerbait bass. 48-degree water. And I have got a tangled up mess. Alright, give me my bait. Check him out. Spinnerbait, wintertime. I think I said it last week. Bass will bite a spinnerbait all year long. People won't throw it. They don't. Oh, they won't chase it down. They won't chase it down. If you get it in front of them, they're gonna eat it. So, back in the water. Woo! He took off. I got some untangling to do. Try to get set back up, and before I get gone from this little spot right here, I'm gonna have to throw a few more times. Most of you guys are gonna recognize I'm sitting in the spillway of the lake. The water's running out. It's got a little current. It's got a little ripple on the water. Got some sunshine. That's classic spinnerbait area. Jerkbait probably work. I don't have the confidence in the jerkbait that I do in the spinnerbait. So I'll pick a spinnerbait up a lot faster than I will a jerkbait, even in the winter. Anyway, oh, it fell out. I'm gonna set back up. I think I'm gonna run my back camera just for a little while to see if I can. I've tried to get a back camera shot of a hook set today, and it just has not worked out. But hey, perseverance. You gotta believe in what you're doing. 2 baits today, the stick bait and now the spinner bait. I stuck with that stick bait all day until it finally got me a big one. I knew I was getting bites. Sometimes you just gotta believe, and I have no reason to put a bait down that's getting bites, even though I wasn't coming through with the fish. I think some of that was on me, not the bait. So if you got a bait you believe in, throw that thing. Throw it all day if you have to, especially in the winter. Anyway, let me get turned back around, repositioned. I'll go again. Get up here, buddy. Gotcha. All right, boys and girls. Right after I left my little last grass patch, the winds got me going down the bank too fast for the worm. I had to go with that spinnerbait again. I love a spinnerbait bite. Look at that big fat chunk. Chunk. Can you spell chunk? That's awesome. Spinnerbait bass in the winter. Man, that fish is cold. But now I've got back into, I've been in some 50-degree water. I've drifted back over into some 49-degree water again. I don't think it matters. Pull it past one of them's head, you're gonna get bit. They're eating, they're hungry, they have to eat. Oh, sorry about that, didn't mean to bump the camera. But man, that is fun. Now I am off the bank again, and that fish was probably 5-6 feet deep. Throwing at the bank or parallel the bank like you would a lot of times just in the spring, next to the green grass, which I've done drifted past it now. But I don't know if he was in the grass or outside of the grass, but when that flash went by, he got it. So let the spinnerbait be a tool in the tackle box for your winter time. I mean, here we are well into January now. Water's getting down there cold as we're gonna get it in northern Alabama. I mean, it's probably gonna drop down to 40, low 40s at some point, but there's no guarantee that it's going to go that low this year. But the spinnerbait is still a viable tool in the toolbox. Now my color on the stick bait today has been a dark blue or June bug, and it seems like every bank I've been on, I've got a bite. So I'm sticking with that color for the remainder of the day. Let me spin around. Get that. I know I've got the sun in the camera. There's one little spot I wanted to throw at up here before I drifted past it so fast. Little patch of green. But you gotta, especially us kayak fishermen, we have to look and see what we can use to the best of our advantage. If you're running down a bank, worm fishing is going to be hard to do. If you're moving from one place to another and the wind will help you out, a lot of times you can pick up a crankbait or a spinnerbait or something you can work fast, even a jerkbait, chatterbait, and work that bank while the wind's pushing you. Use it to your advantage. All you got to do then is hold yourself straight down the bank. And once you get back into the calm water, if your pattern was fishing laydowns or grass beds, you can go back to doing that. But learn to use the wind to your advantage. I really hate fishing in the wind myself, but hey, if I never went fishing when the wind was blowing, I guess I'd sit at home all the time. So you gotta learn to adapt. And man, that was so cool. That was a big bite. That thing hit and bowed my rod, so I'm tickled with that. Alright guys, I'm gonna wind it up with this little segment here. It has been a blast. It has been a beautiful day. I've had the entire lake to myself, so I thought, hey, that's a pretty good deal. And you can come to a lake and not another boat has been on the water all day that I can see. There wasn't a truck in the parking lot, so blessed with that. Didn't have to fight the waves or the crowd or anything. Had a good time. The weather's been good. It's a little cool, but overall it was a beautiful day. And I just want to thank all the guys and girls that watched my channel. This month has been kind of incredible. The last 3 or 4 weeks I've gained over 20 subscribers to the channel. I would like to welcome everybody that's new and say thank you to everybody that has already been here. Over the last year, I've really started to work the channel and learn how to grow my YouTube channel bigger, and things are really, it's like it's starting to take off, and it just means the world to me to see the likes, the views, and the subscriber count go up. And if you got anything you want to ask them in the comments. I'm not too big a channel. I answer every comment. I don't think I've missed a comment in months, and I do not mind it. I actually love it, and it lets me know somebody's interested in watching. You guys stay safe on the water. If you see me out on the water in my bright little boat, come say hi. I don't mind. This has been a fun day. Spinnerbait, the stick bait, my two main. I actually threw a jig for a little while off camera, never got a bite. The cream stick bait and the War Eagle spinnerbait has been the ticket today. You saw my fish, and it was a grind to start with. I lost a lot of fish, but I think I more than made up for it with a couple of nice ones, and just really enjoyed a pretty day out. Hey, take time, be on the water, stay safe. I'll see you guys next week.